Welcome again we've got another interview today in Germany again, in Newmullen, for the European Championships 2016. We've got Bella Capel, very renowned helper, supporter, trainer extraordinaire. Her two sons are normally at these competitions, but Jack unfortunately is not at this one. It's only Rory here. He's not. Is he in the team as well?
No, not this year. He had to choose between individual teams. So,
and he's doing quite well in the individuals by all accounts.
He's okay. He's in the elongated semi-final.
The tremi-final.
The tremi-final, indeed. Yes.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah, very good.
Tremi-final. So I suppose. How do you prepare your different riders being a trainer, because you're doing so many different...
Well, I'm training Ewan Taylor because I'm the Scotland trainer, national trainer, and he's our Scotland individual. So I'm training Ewan as well as Rory at this competition. They are completely different characters to train. Ewan's a very talented rider, but certainly until this season, if he made a bad mistake, the red mist would come down and you'd completely lose him, and he couldn't understand that it doesn't matter if he loses one race.
And do you think it helps that you're there to support him through all of that, and you're managing everything else around him as well?
Oh yes, you have to. He was very easily put off.
Yes.
And although we're all friends and people don't mean to be unkind, effectively they are, because they're all sort of Ewan baiting at the sides of the ring. So I can be quite a frightening person if I choose to. So I've sort of fairly, laid into people in a non-physical violent way, obviously,
of course.
to stop this happening.
Yeah.
So and this week particularly, he's been great because we've had errors, and then I've said whatever I want him to do in the next game, and he's still done it. So, and consequently, he's in third position.
But then do you find, because you're managing and looking after you, and do you think that Rory and other people suffer as a result of it?
No, I will have to choose. For the semi-final, I can't help Ewan because I will take
you've got
Rory.
Your favourites as well.
Yes, effectively a favourite. However, in the previous European final last year, I had Rory and Jack both in the final, and Jack came to me and said, "Who are you going with, Mum? Because you can't take us both."
Yeah.
In this instance, I went with Peppy, which is Rory's pony, because he's quite neurotic. So the pony looks to me for support. So I just went, it's got to be Peppy. So Jack is a very similar character. So he immediately got that and was like, okay, I'll ask Ian Hopkins. I was like, good, okay, sorted.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be fair to pretend to Ewan that I can help him in that semi.
Because your attention wouldn't be there.
And they are in the same section.
Yeah.
It might have been possible if they were in
the separate tremies.
Yes, the first and third try, but as they are both in the first, it's not going to be possible, which is unfortunate. But
And then where do you get the motivation and the time from to do all of these things? Because you're a busy lady through other things as well.
Yeah. I think we're all workaholics. I don't like leaving anything to chance. I don't take risks. I don't like things I can't control. So I don't like watching my sons do 2 mark because I can't control that.
Yes.
Because they're not brilliant at that. But then we're all brilliant at different things, and luckily they're good at other races.
So then why is it MJ and not a different sport? Why specifically MG? Well, you've got two sons that are both very good at other sports as well.
Yeah.
Especially Jack with his hockey and everything else.
Yes, I mean, I think like most these riders, they're sporty people. Jack plays hockey to a very high level still, but mounted games they can be one of the best at, and I don't think either of them can tolerate, and I'm the same nature, which is just how I am, being in something to be somewhere middle of the road. I mean, and that's not knocking the people who can be, because you all do it for different reasons. But
there's a reason why you're at the top as well, because you put in the work. Because I've seen the behind the scenes with you of what gets put in with everything behind. It's not like you rock up with a pony you've brought out the field the night before.
No,
it's all about, I think with MJ, it's all about the preparation of everything. And you are, in my opinion anyway, one of the best at managing the whole situation.
You are a very lovely man. I mean, Rory it's quite interesting having Rory and Ewan, because they are so different.
Yeah.
Rory is quite machine-like, so he always knows what the points are. He knows exactly where he is. He knows exactly what he has to do. So all you have to do with him is sort of pre-program him before he does each race. So it's sort of, because his horse is with Ewan, it's his nature that can be the factor that holds him up. With Rory and the present pony, it's a brilliant pony, but the pony can be distracted or stressed out by things, so it's always reminding him of what Pepe's likely to panic about. So it's keeping the pony calm and all the rest of it. So it's good. So it's an interest. I love it. I love technicality.
But then how do you balance, because you are English, you've got a son on an English team, and you've got a son on a Scotland team as well. How do you balance all of that?
Whatever I am in charge of training will be my priority.
So this year would have been Scotland with Jack.
Yes.
And then Rory is left on his own to do his own devices.
Totally.
Completely.
Yeah, because I don't think you can. I'm a great believer that you cannot do things half. You can't be in two camps at once. You have to. Not that I would do anything. I would help Roo get his pony ready, you know, when he was at World Teams, but it had to be for Scotland. Because that's what I'm training, and I love to train, and I don't worry that I am English, or I think it's rather a shame actually when people get too nationalistic. You know, I'd train anyone. You know, if they were nice and wanted to help.
Well, I mean, you've got quite a few French in your home team.
We have a very multinational team. We have New Zealand, Swedish, so you know, in our own county team as well. So we are.
All right. Well, then the biggest question is going to be England or Scotland. Which one would you rather be in charge of? And then, but then, is that more around the riders for you as a trainer?
Yes, I have to say I had a lovely time at the World Teams with Scotland. I had a team that were totally with me. And you can do so much with that. The World Teams, we didn't have as much of a chance as some of the teams. We had what we had. You know, to my mind, we were a little bit Wales football team. You know, we had certain riders, we had certain ponies. We didn't have the full package like perhaps the Irish and the New Zealand teams did, and the English to some extent. But there's so much heart in it. We're very nearly, you know, with one race to go after the first finals, half of the final, we have the sort of lovely phrase from Hugh Whitney that one race to go and Scotland are in the lead. No one has ever said that in Scotland's entire national history. So you know, that I love that. I got a kick from that, even though we couldn't actually manage to win. They rode the best they could possibly.
Well, I think that was the best day final I've ever seen in my life.
It was fantastic.
It was how many points between first and sixth
place?
It's
insane, that first half. Really good to be in.
You're literally splitting points for that session to come across. Well, thanks very much for coming in.
Not at all. It was very, very nice to meet you.